precise and lethal. The military equivalent of a hole-in-one. But on history's front nine, there were a lot of bogeys. Direct hits, duds, and dummies. The secret mission of a lost Kennedy, and the breakthroughs that gave the bomb a brain. Now, smart bombs on Modern Marvels. They streak to the spot of a laser, the crosshairs of a camera, or the pinpoint of GPS coordinates, to strike the right spot at the optimum altitude and angle.
In some cases, spread the explosive energy in the right direction, and in some cases even do that in a three-dimensional sense. It hits a place not only at the right point on the ground, but buries underneath the ground in just the right place.
Typically, smart bombs have no propulsion systems of their own, but are steered in free fall by winglets. The Tomahawk cruise missile, one of the workhorses of the Iraq War, also uses GPS guidance and television imagery. But its jet engine makes it a missile, not a smart bomb. There's one other critical difference. Cruise missiles cost at least $500,000 each. A smart bomb, as little as $20,000. Smart bombs seemed to burst on the scene amid enormous hype during the two wars with Iraq. But long before the bandwagon of the 1990s, there were smart bombs. In 1919, Charles Kettering, one of the fathers of precision guidance, had this to say about his brainchild. What is regarded as one of the most destructive weapons invented during the war has been placed in the secret archives of the War Department at Washington. There to remain, it is hoped, even by the inventor, for all times. Dire words to describe a flimsy biplane whose first flight ended miserably. But this was the world's first smart bomb. World War I pilots experienced for the first time the stark equation of aerial bombing. Precision equals proximity to the target. But the closer you get to the enemy, the better your chances of getting shot out of the sky.
General rule is if the target is worth destroying by us, it's worth protecting by the enemy. So any target you're going after is probably going to be fairly heavily defended.
The only way to stem the carnage was to start removing the pilot from the equation, to make a remote-controlled bomb. This is the so-called aerial torpedo, a prototype for a guided weapon invented in 1918 for the U.S. Navy. Not to be outdone, the Army appealed to an inventor and future president of General Motors.
They went to Charles F. Kettering and asked him if he could develop something similar for them.
Officially still called an aerial torpedo, the bomb was nicknamed the Kettering Bug. The Bug was a hybrid chemical weapon with a 200-pound payload of high explosives and mustard gas. A wing and motor assembly was fitted onto the warhead. For a runway, a short section of dolly track. After its first crashes, Kettering's Bug finally flew. The fluttering you see is caused by continuous steering input from gyroscopic stabilizers. Range was controlled by an odometer that counted propeller revolutions. When it reached a preset distance, up to 75 miles, the ignition was killed and the bomb dove. But there were a great many bugs in Kettering's Bug, which was unreliable in testing and deployed too late for combat. Still, in great secrecy, work continued on guided bombs. As two wings gave way to one, in early December 1941, a new kind of flying bomb was tested. Its first flight, as sorry as the Kettering Bugs. But on December 8, 1941, one day after the Pearl Harbor attack, The so-called controllable bomb went airborne. An early version of an optical or television bomb. That's right. It's 1941 and the military already had a TV camera inside a bomb. From a chase plane, the bombardiers saw the TV image and flew the bomb by radio controls, like a really big remote control plane.
You're essentially sitting inside the bomb because the TV camera's in the nose and you're flying the bomb.
But as the conflict deepened, the U.S. military thought it had the answer to precision bombing, and it wasn't the controllable bomb.
In order not to bomb churches, habitations, and only to hit military targets, an instrument of this nature was vital.